Okay, it's now Friday morning. We have got to get off this jetty at some point, this dock. So unfortunately the wind's blowing us on, so we have to work out a system to actually get the boat to go against the wind to turn out there and get out there through this fairly narrow gap. So what I'm thinking is I've already attached a slip line to the stern. We have the fat boy out, which is the big fat brown fender there. We're going to put that at the back and try and pivot off the back of the boat, reversing back against the fat boy to bring the front end round. Added complications are that catamaran over there, albeit there's actually somebody on board now at last, so that might help. They might actually be going with any luck. So what we're going to do is start the engines, come back a little bit just so we get a bit more room to pivot round, see what we've got, and actually see if we can drive out forwards. Initially I was thinking about pivoting the other way around and driving out backwards, but I think with the way the wind is blowing, it's going to come round a little bit. So you can probably see that by the flags, that it's kind of almost head on to the nose now as it's turned a little bit, which is good. So as we get to head into the wind, it'll actually push us round, hopefully. Anyway, we'll see. Watch this space. So we're well on our way, down to the very tip of the heel. And we're cruising along at about 9 knots generally, and 11 knots of wind. Code 0 out, this is where it's happy. The boat loves this. Wind slightly behind the beam, true wind angle, and slightly in front with the apparent wind angle. Flying along. It says we can do the next 52 miles, we should be in for 6 o'clock, just after. It's pretty good. Okay, so we're coming around the corner to the very, very tip of Italy, a place called De Lucca. And it's going to be really dark. The camera's deceiving, it's pretty dark now. We've got a tiny bit of moon. Karen's sat at the front with a torch looking out for fishing pots. We're going to come around this corner and we think there's at least 4 boats anchored close to the marina entrance. So we're going to have to just get as close as we can using the radar and the torch. So we shall see. It'll be interesting when we come around this corner. Can't get any further south of Italy, but hopefully we should be protected from this bit of wind that we've had. On the way over here we actually had about 19 knots of wind behind us, which was brilliant. It had us hoofing along at 10 knots when we had the engines running, so we turned the engine off and cracked on nicely. So we shall see. You're gonna have to try and look down through the sea and see if you can see the rocks. Yeah, I can see it.
Is that one there?
We're quite close to these rocks here though, look. Karen,
Another one here.
look how close we are to this, so I don't want to be too close to here.
What's the depth here, Neil?
6.5, so 8.
8. So, what is one down?
There's a buoy here, and there. Oh shit, look, they're here. You can see them there. So we need to go out a little bit.
One
and then,
there, look.
yeah, we need to go out a little bit and just turn around and come back on that.
And there.
Right, drop it there. "24 out, 23. Now it should be okay. Drop another 5 or 10.
Can you tell from the
That one. Another white one behind.
Morning everyone, we're in this lovely bay. It's our last place in Italy. Just getting the anchor up this morning to get our trip over to Corfu. And we've had a little bit of an issue bringing the anchor up. Came up easy enough. However, she got this up with I was just going to attempt to try and... There she goes! No wonder we didn't move in the night. We were rock steady, weren't we, Dad? got here in the dark as well, so that was a little bit of a new experience, anchoring in the dark. That lighthouse on the top of the point there was guiding us in. We got in no problem.
So we're on our way to Corfu. As you can see, we've started off with a good old wind, 17 knots apparent, doing 9.5 knots of speed, very good. Not a bad angle to be fair, 56 degrees apparent. See outside, I feel what it's like to it's alright. A bit rougher today. Oh, to go over a bit. And zipping along nicely. Oh, look at the wind. Full main. Now we might have to put a reef in that if it gets any stronger. Keep an eye on it. 18 knots apparent at the moment. Looking good for a quick crossing.
I hope you can hear me, it's a bit windy. We just had, Neil just radioed the skipper on this great big massive boat just to make sure that he knew we were coming across his bow. Closest point of approach is 0.6 of a mile, which is a little bit close for something as big as that. Anyway, he didn't radio back, but they are behind us now.
Okay, so mid-sea update. We've done about 34 miles of a 70-mile trip. We are in Greek waters now, which is good. And we are currently hoofing along at 10 knots in 15 knots of wind. 19 knots apparent. That's slowed down a little bit to 9 knots. Distance to destination 29 miles. We got on the trip. Average speed 9.2. Amazing. 31.7 miles done. Maximum speed 12.4.
We've successfully arrived in the Greek islands. Neil's put the Greek flag up, taking the Italian one down. This is the island of Kefalonia, and this is Erakusa. They were the first two that we saw on this corner here. Rocky. We're just coming up to the north end of Corfu, and then try and get just up on the top, and then anchor in somewhere just sort of east of the north of Corfu, because there's some wind coming in the night that we need to get around the top to be protected in the morning. And I thought this coastline looked quite good.
Hopefully you can see the dolphins. They're kind of playing or splashing fish. Crack on! So this morning we motored the 7 miles or so from where we were anchored last night down to Guvia. So we're just anchored in Guvia Marina. We've been in and done the fuel. That was a relatively straightforward experience. Now we're in this little anchorage. And it's really quite surreal, having actually chartered out of here a couple of times from over there. Our charter boats coming out of Guvia to come back with our own boat. It's a bit, it's kind of quite nice. So tomorrow we're going to go and try and get our transit log sorted and go and check in with customs and clearance and all that sort of stuff. I'll let you know how that gets on.
So we're just taking the dinghy into Goubier, get some lines. We saw this boat on the way in. Very cool looking motorboat. We'll try and find out what it's called and be one of it. So we've just left the marina just outside Corfu town, or Kerkira, which is its Greek name, where we had to go to the customs office in the port authority to get our paperwork done. And this is the town. There's a castle up there. We're just motoring around the corner to find a bay to stay in tonight. And then this is the fortress here. So this is built on a little bit of island that is separate from the mainland. It's just only connected by a bridge. And when Corfu was under attack in the past, this is where all the people from the Corfu town would go to be safe, because it was not accessible from the land apart from just by this one bridge. So they were safe there. We actually had to walk around there when we were here last time with Beth.
So just a quick 5-minute catch up. We're in Corfu, actually just outside Corfu town. That's actually the city just there, and the airport. Planes coming out right somewhere around here, somewhere on that side I think. So we're leaving here tomorrow. Oh, there's a plane there. Looks like he's coming in. Leaving here tomorrow, heading for the end of the island, then maybe trying to get down to Paxos, hopefully. And then there's not much wind tomorrow, so we might have to just see what we can do. I think there's a little bit in the afternoon, so we might motor down so far, pitch up for lunch, and then finish off sailing down to Paxos, if we can. There's some absolutely amazing yachts here. Let's try and zoom in on that one there, that is huge. It's about 7 stories high. Yeah, it doesn't look very good on the video. There's a few, there's that one, and that one. And there is some enormous, enormous boats here. Amazing. Okay, it's Tuesday morning. We've left Corfu town. We're on our way down to the southern tip of Corfu, and it is banana cake time. So Karen's on with making it. We've got 2 bananas left over. Butter in the pot.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Fine flour. Self-rising flour.
How long will this take?
40 minutes, 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Life beyond sailing. Let's see how this goes.
So we're just sailing down from Corfu. We've just gone through the gap in between Paxos Island, which is there, and this is a small island called Anti-Paxos. Very beautiful coastline. Just come round the corner to this stunning bay. Big motorboat in there. Would have been a nice place to stay tonight, but we're hoping to get down to Nikos. Last tiny bit of sunshine. Beautiful sunset. Look at the sky and these rocks. Cordon bleu chicken salad.
Yep. This is Wednesday night before we go to the marina tomorrow. Before we meet Andy and Dee and the kids. We start the week sailing with them. Bit of chili mayo.
Do a chili mayo. So we've just arrived, well, last night we arrived in this bay. It's on the southern tip of Kefalonia, just before the airport, and this is called Odyssey Bay. It's gorgeous. The cliff faces all the way around. We had a really protected night. It wasn't rolly, slept really well, and that's the tip there of the bay. And we're heading round to check in this morning, and then heading round to the airport to pick Andy and Dee up. Made a couple of purchases for the boat before we left. Where were we bought the stuff from? Corfu, Gouvier Marina. So we bought this, which is a horseshoe life ring to just throw in to calm water if you've got somebody in the water who needs some help or someone's fallen off. Just throw that in, horseshoe ring. There's a couple of other safety things. This is a external ladder that you can pull down and climb up on if you're off the boat. There isn't somebody on board to help you get up. What else? We put our EPIRB up just there, so it's an easy place to grab it from. That sets off a signal if it's submerged in water, so if we were going down, that would tell everybody that we've gone down. So that's a few scary things that we bought. This one's quite cool. This one's called a POB net. This circle thing here. So the idea with this is, if there's a person in the water who is unable to pull themselves up, it scoops them up inside the net, and then you can hoist them up. They don't have to do anything. It's quite a cool one. And then we also bought some floating lines, 2 very long ones. How long are they, Neil? 50 metres. So we'll show you when we use them. So in Greece, one of the things that they do is a lot of the bays are quite small. So they, well, I'll show you on this boat. So they have your boat like this in the middle, but they put them much nearer to the land, and then you tie 2 stern lines, sort of from where I am now actually, one from this cleat to the land and one from the other side of the land, and it just gives you 3 points of attachment so that it's more secure. And then we also bought something fun as well, ready for when the kids are on board, which is this. So hopefully everyone's going to have a bit of fun on that. I'll take a video of somebody on that at some point.
Okay, so we're at Argostoli. This is one of the ports of entry in Kefalonia. That actually over there is the customs office. So we've been there this morning, checked in, checked Andy and Dean on the paperwork, so they're all legit for next week. There's Philip Green's Lionheart, taking 2 tanker loads of fuel off the jetty. Amazing. And then next to him is a big cruise liner getting ready to go out. So we're just anchored off the town quay. We tried to go to the supermarket, but apparently it's the bank holiday today in Greece, 15th of August bank holiday. Interesting. And we are in this little anchorage, and there is absolutely loads of turtles in the water. So I will try and get one on film, but they are very quick popping up and going down, so it's pretty unlikely that I'll catch one. We'll see, you never know. There's like a little, oh there's one there, look. Oh, I missed him. I don't know whether you saw that or not. There is one just there, about between those 2 monohulls. There, do you see him popping up there? Yes, I'm sure I got that. Amazing.
Typical Greek bakery. This is black lava. It's basically pastries soaked in honey, all sorts of different types. We've got a selection. Tomorrow. and this is again typical Greek pastry. Cheese pie.